Okay, hello and welcome. It's Christy here from God of War, and I thought what I would do is just demonstrate a little bit of Assetto Corsa Competizione, but on Xbox as it came out yesterday. This is now Wednesday, the 24th of June, sorry, and I am kind of waiting at the moment for a little gadget that will allow me to plug my G29 into the Xbox, so I can play the Xbox version. It's complicated why I'm using the Xbox version. Basically, it's the console I can move upstairs. So rather than buy a second wheel, I'm just going to get that. However, it does give me an opportunity to demonstrate, and if you'll pardon the crotch shot, how this plays on a pad. I've had a couple of questions about how that works. So what I'm going to do just now is do a few hot laps and maybe a race with the pad and just demonstrate the issues, what I've done to fix the initial setup on pad, because I felt the initial setup on pad was pretty bad, but I did find a solution online, so I'll share that with you, and also just get a little bit of racing done. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just demonstrate through a few hot laps what this is like. I'm using the Zolder track because I've just recently spent a fair bit of time learning it. So I know the time that I've got to beat there, which is, I think it's 1:31.872. I think I'm not going to get anywhere close to that, but we'll just see how far off the pace I am with the pad. I highly recommend you use these setups. They're actually quite well done for each car, so I tend to go for aggressive and then modify fuel. You don't have to modify fuel in hot laps, but it gives you a default of 60 litres, which is quite heavy. So I would do some maths and figure out how many litres you need and just give yourself a little bit over that. For any of the other modes, I also, especially with the pad, I throw the traction control up. This is not a cheat, by the way. These cars do have traction control. You can change it in car on the fly. I'm going to stick ABS up, which is also the same. It's in car in the real world, so that's all fine. That's about all I generally do with setup at the moment. It's something I'm going to have to learn. I used to do setups in my Sims many years ago, but this is all knowledge that is foggy at best now. Okay, so let's go. This is going to be a bit of a test actually for the pad, because there's an awful lot of braking and sharp turning. Right, so I'm going to do a lap in that view, and I'll explain in a lap's time why I'm using this view of the pad. Okay, just sliding out a bit there, which is decent. This cat corner always caught me until quite late on in my time on the track. It's just off camber and you can't take it as fast as you think you can or want to. That's better. So that's invalidated my lap. Up top right you'll see some rating markers. If you've never played ACC before, this is an excellent feedback system that the game uses to basically let you know how you're doing on track. It gives you some targets as well, like at the moment, drive one clean lap around here. That will increase, and I'm trying to get track medals on all the tracks. You get ratings for track competence, consistency, car control. The big one is safety rating. That controls the kind of races that you can get onto online. That's something I actually haven't done yet on PC because I'm feared. or if you're not Scottish, afraid. And they're sliding out again. Now, it'll become apparent why I'm pointing out where I'm sliding out in a sec. Okay, so now I'm going to do a lap in the most problematic viewpoint. This one. Well, there's two in-car views like this, and you can see already this is responding to the slightest flick of my stick. And it's quite annoying, off-putting to drive with. It's just a little bit oversensitive in terms of the animation. It's not really reflected in the steering, which is why I race in steering out there. It's why I race in bonnet view when I've got the pad. There is another view as well, which is less off-putting. It could have gone straight through there, actually. Not doing badly. My track knowledge is helping me out here. Whoa. But it's just awful. This animation, I understand why it's happening, because with the stick there's lots of little... There we go, I spun round. That is purely because the animation, it makes it quite difficult not to respond to it and over counter steer. Right, I'm gonna pause, and what I'm gonna do is show you the setup for the pad that I'm using, because the default setup, not great. Or at least for me, I found it quite difficult to use. But I did find online, and I'll post a link below. Credit goes to the person on Race Department. I think it's Race Department anyway that did this. But this is the setup. This is not the default setup. This is the setup I found online, and this has made things much easier. It's also tweakable from here on in as well. I think you could probably tweak it to your liking. I think I still need to play with this. I think probably steer filter needs to go up. I'm not sure what steer speed does yet. I might slow that down. Speed sensitivity seemed to be the opposite way around to what I expected. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the bigger percentage that you put on there, the less sensitive it is at speed, which is the wrong way round. That's the impression I got from the changes that happened when I switched to this setup. So I'll have to research exactly what all of these things do. It's quite difficult to find it online, actually. I really do think they should be explaining this in-game, because certainly on consoles it's so important that people can play this on a pad. Steer assist, this is a bit of a misnomer, and I have issues with the fact that it's called steer assist. In my opinion, it's more of a counter steer assist, and it only really kicks in it never kicks into the point where it's steering for you, in my opinion. As you can see, even with it enabled, I still lost the car. So it's giving me the equivalent amount of control, in my opinion, to a wheel. Almost, I'm still obviously slower, but it's certainly not an advantage to be using a pad with it. And I think the name implies that, and it's definitely not that. What I'll do is show you what it's like without steer assist on. And it's like, it's mostly okay, but then you'll come up to a tight corner, and there, I almost lost it. There, look, see, I kind of held it. Just feels a lot more like it's on ice. You just don't have the resistance. The thing about the wheels is there's a little bit of resistance which modifies your input, and your input can be much more precise than with a stick. So, you know, it's fine. I know that's why this steering animation is so violent. I just think they need to smooth that out somehow. So this is still with no steer assist. Cut that corner, that's no use. So you can get round with it. Especially on tracks you know, but I suspect it's a good deal slower. And if I got into a situation where I really had to counter steer, at the moment I'm quite lucky in that everything is understeer, not oversteer. Maybe turn off the traction control. Oh, I was too busy looking at TC. I'll go to bonnet cam. It's just that even with steer assist, because my tyres are red, that'll go back to green when I go over the start finish line. Oh, jeez. Yeah, so I've completely destroyed my tyres. And that's giving me a good idea of how little the steer assist is helping. Look, see, I still lost it. It is not panacea. So I'm going to cut to the beginning of the next lap where I've got good tyres. Okay, so tyres are going to repair themselves instantly. Nah. And let's see if I can get a decent lap in. Now that I'm done explaining nuances of the handling, although I'm probably going to explain more on the way around. There we go. Don't know, can't remember if I've mentioned, but throttle input, brake input is absolutely fine. I actually had to tweak it on PC with the wheel. I don't feel the need on pad. It is simply steering that you may have to modify. You can see there my back end kicked out, and I still had to put the input in to save that. It is a minor assist at best, damn it. Okay, now that I've demonstrated everything, I've got, I forgot that I turned off traction control, and that's pretty necessary. Even with a wheel, I'd have the traction control on a little bit, probably halfway or a little bit over. So try and get some clean laps. See if I can get... I'd be happy with the 135, to be honest. 4 seconds off my... 3 seconds off my best, really. Yeah, and that was me drifting around the corner, even with counter steer assist. I still had to work quite hard to save that. That's kind of what I'm looking for in a pad use on a racing game. It still feels like a sim. It's making up for the shortcomings of the pad, not the shortcomings in your skill set. I think that's the best way I can put it. Okay, that's 6 seconds off. Well, 5.5 seconds off. Let's see if I can do better than that. Not looking like it at the moment, but I think I've got a lot of room to make up. Like there. I'll be quite brave over that chicane. If you're not careful, it will invalidate your lap though, so you've not got to be too greedy. Okay, almost 2 seconds up. Okay, that's a 1:35.5, so that's just under 4 seconds off the pace. I reckon I can probably do even better than that. I'm not really trying that hard at the moment. I'm not being particularly aggressive. I'm starting to feel pad control getting a little bit easier. I can totally see somebody playing this in a pad and getting very good. It's just I still wouldn't say it's the ideal way to do it, but I can totally see people getting quite good at it this way. Nearly lost it there, but it's okay. About a second up. Okay, so I'm about 3 seconds, under 3 seconds off of my best time. I hope that helped you. If it did, please do like it. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if it takes your fancy, and stay safe, stay well, stay happy, and see you next time. However, I will do a race with the pad so you can see what the races are like as well. So I will leave a race without much commentary after this. So anyway, thanks for watching. Okay, so I'm just starting the race. I have gone for 30 litres of fuel. I think that'll do me fine. I might actually put the TC up just to keep me safe while I'm racing.
Going double file.
Just going to be trying to stay consistent and stay overtake where I can, but not aggressively. I just want to build up. This is pretty much, I can't think of another game that focuses as much on safety rating. Maybe GT Sport does. I haven't really explored the online with that. But your safety rating can be affected by how you play in single player. You get rolling starts, by the way, so that's why we're going so slow at the moment. A 10-minute race.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Then narrowly avoided hitting him there.
Car on the right.
AI isn't particularly high in terms of how I've set it. I think the lowest you can set it is 80, highest is 100. Got it on 86 or something like that, just because I wasn't quite sure how to approach it while using the pad and waiting for my wheel gadget to appear.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Regardless though, the racing is very, very good in single player. I've always had quite a lot of fun. It is worth noting that your safety rating gets affected. I don't know if I might have just mentioned that, but safety rating gets affected by single player. So you still have to focus on being clean where possible. And actually, in my opinion, that's a great thing, because there's too many games out there where the single player you end up winning by just ramming the AI off the road, and what you find is that that approach then filters into the online side of things as well. The safety rating in single player ensures that it's enforcing good behaviour in every aspect of the game, which is another big selling point for console racers. Specifically, I think on Xbox, I can't think of a racing game that does that, although I haven't explored Forza Online for many years, so you know, you can let me know in the comments if Forza does that. And it's just the back end, I had to correct steering there, so you can see that the counter steer is fairly minimal at best in terms of the assist. You really wouldn't, unless you compare, you wouldn't know it was there. Yeah, and it honestly, it still just feels much like it feels like to me when I'm using a wheel. I definitely don't feel like I'm at an advantage with a pad, quite the opposite.
Car on the left.
Send it up the inside.
Clear on the left.
Have I got it? Yeah. Pardon me. Very dehydrated. It's extremely hot here today, and recording this in the bedroom with a laptop to my side and an Xbox and a TV in front of me. We're really overheating. I am, not the equipment, at least I hope not. Okay, let's see if we can build a gap and catch those people in front. Probably catch them at the chicane. I think I'm catching them up already, actually. Yeah, here we go. Slowing each other down. Don't get carried away, Christy. Just stay behind her.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
That was close.
We are at the halfway mark, still a long way to go.
Well, like I said early on in the video, applying the throttle and applying the brakes feels brilliant with the triggers. It's absolutely spot on. You really feel like you can feather.
Car on the right.
Don't hit me, please don't hit me.
Clear on the right.
Oh, I'm gonna go off here, I think. I just held it.
Car
I
on
need
the
to get
left.
past this fella, he's slowing me down.
Clear on the left.
Okay, mid-pack, that's not bad going. Just over, I'd say we've got 3 laps left.
Just the car ahead is into one. Well done, mate. That's not best.
You can see my front left is starting to go off. This track's quite hard on the front left tyre. Actually, I can feel it just scrubbing around the right-handers. Might have to just raise the TC to max. Game is much more forgiving outside of hot lap mode in terms of track limits. Which is fine. Oh,
Car on the right.
somehow managed to avoid hitting them. You can see traction control actually slowed me down getting out of there. Might cycle through. Maximum traction control was causing me issues. I wasn't able to put the power down properly. Coming out of corners. Narrowly avoided smacking him in the rear there. Touch and go whether we'll actually get to the checkered flag or the finish line before the checkered flag. Probably, I don't know. Not sure how that works. Because the leader's on the last lap, we might all be as well. Yeah, we are. See if I can get past somebody here.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
See if I can get past this Beamer as well. That's one car I haven't tried in the game at all yet, not even on the PC. Keep meaning to. Gives me touring car vibes.
Clear on the left.
AI's doing a good job of not rear-ending me, which is great. Up to 8th from last, not bad going.
Almost finished the race. Car on the left.
On the grass. I thought I might have lost it there. And I hold the inside. Yes.
Good job. Did the best you could.
That's
Take it easy, big lap.
not bad, I have to say. Let's get a replay started. I don't think it gives you a full replay. I think it's like 9 minutes or something it gives you. Pardon me. So, yeah, I think that demonstrates that it's actually... I mean, I got more confident with the pad as I was recording this video. So, I think I'm coming down on the side of this being perfectly playable with a pad if you're willing to tweak it and actually just copy that setup that I showed earlier, and that'll give you a very good starting point. I've got more and more used to it over the last half hour or whatever it is, and yeah, I just that race was very enjoyable with a pad, which really surprised me. I was able to stay safe, overtake safely, not rear-end anyone. It's probably the cleanest race I've had on any version. I think that the 30 frames per second thing, it isn't a non-issue. It does make a difference, and I think it's probably, you know, it will factor into why I'm a little bit slower than on PC, as well as using the pad. But everybody's in the same boat on Xbox, so if you're wanting to play online, that's not an issue. It's perfectly playable, and as you can see, it looks pretty good. Yesterday I came away quite disappointed with how it looked. Today, and I suspect this is because I haven't just jumped in from the PC version, which does look a lot better. It's also a massive resource hog. I have an RTX 2060 running it, and the frame rate fluctuates like crazy. It's a PC killer, this game. So having it running with 20 cars on track without any, it didn't drop. It's 30 frames per second everywhere as far as I can see, regardless of whether you've got 20 cars on track or hot lapping. So yeah, I actually, I'm surprised to say this, but I think this is good. If you haven't got the option of a PC and you really want a sim racer, and you don't have a wheel even, I think you could do this. I think it would take a little bit of work to get used to the pad, but it's the best sim racer on console, no doubt about it. So anyway, I will say for a second time, if you enjoyed this video, please do like it. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see any more of my videos. And yeah, stay safe, stay well, stay happy, and I'll see you next time. Bye.